When star kids are born, all eyes stick upon them to see where they go in life. Many of them let you know about the events of their lives, while some appear to be unreachable. The curiosity about the unreachable ones goes beyond the limit whenever their names pop out. One such star kid is Seargeoh Stallone, whose presence in the spotlight is close to zero. But his father, Rambo, aka Sylvester Stallone, is the treasure of Hollywood. From the 70s to the late 90s, Sylvester Stallone ruled the action genre in Hollywood. People idolized him for the macho image he portrayed in the movies. The man still has the same effect that he had a few decades ago. Coming to Seargeoh Stallone, unlike his father, he is not famous. Seargeoh Stallone is the second child of the Rocky fame, Sylvester Stallone. He is detached from the colorful world of cinema, even though he debuted in the movies when he was an infant. So, we have brought some details about Seargeoh Stallone that could help you get the insight into his life. 41-year-old, Seargeoh Stallone is the autistic son of the famous American actor, director, screenwriter, producer, and artist, Sylvester Stallone, and his ex-wife, Sasha Czack. He was born in 1979 in the United States of America, 3 years after the birth of his older brother, Sage Stallone. Sergio appeared in a movie shortly after his birth. He was in the film as the infant son of Rocky Balboa. Maybe his father had dreamt of making him a big star just like him. It turns out fate had something else in store. Sergio is neither a superstar nor a famous personality. But his father's fame kept him under the spotlight for some years after his birth. After the separation of his parents, Sergio started living with his mother. Seargeoh Stallone was born with all the blessings one could get. His father was at the peak of his career during that time. 3 years went by in joy though. Sergio was a little different from kids his age. The inabilities that Sergio had acquired when he was growing made his parents think that they might have missed something. Therefore, Sylvester and Sasha consulted a doctor. It was only then that they found out their second child, Seargeoh Stallone, had autism. The diagnosis broke the hearts of his parents. In a few interviews, his father even mentioned that having a child in the spectrum is very hard to go through. While Sergio was growing up, his father turned the world upside down to help him overcome daily challenges. The condition of Sergio had him stand out among other children. Luckily, he was from a well-to-do family. Hence, he did not have to face any problems that could have arisen because of financial instability. Instead, he received all the help that a person with autism requires. Despite the autistic condition, Seargeoh Stallone could draw, write letters, and repeat certain words. Still, communication was a big task for him, so was understanding him for his close ones. His parents did everything they could to give him a normal childhood. The couples consulted with the National Society for Children and Adults with Autism so that they could help their son. They even helped set up a research fund within the organization. Witnessing the separation of parents is never easy for any child. It gets more challenging when the child is very young. On top of that, if a child is autistic, the situation can be worse. Seargeoh Stallone was only around 6 years old when his parents parted ways. They ended their marriage of over 10 years in 1985. The young child stayed with his mother after the separation, as it was the best for him back then. The love and care that he was to receive never faded away, even though his parents were not together anymore. Instead, his father and mother doubled the care. Sergio went to the school for children with learning difficulties in Pasadena, California. Soon after his diagnosis of autism was out, his parents arranged several therapy sessions for him. His father was not very happy to send him to special school boarding. He insisted on keeping Sergio with the family instead. His parents referred to him as their silent genius. But other details of Seargeoh Stallone's schooling are off the record. Sergio received educational help through homeschooling mostly. Even though his parents did everything, he could still not communicate like other children of his age. Sylvester Stallone is a very famous name in Hollywood today. But he had his days of struggles. All the time when Sergio's father was grinding to make a name in Hollywood, there was one lady who never left his side, Sasha Czack. Sylvester Stallone started his acting career in 1969. By the late 70s, Sylvester's popularity had paved its way to the top. On the other hand, Sasha, born Alexandra Jane Czack, did not make it big in the acting industry. She was also interested in acting from a young age. Sasha is known for her appearance in CBS Network's Love for Life. Even though she has exceptional roles to her credit, people know Sasha as the ex-wife of Sylvester Stallone. Sylvester and Sasha met each other while they both were working in the industry. It did not require them a lot of time to fall for each other. The infatuation was instant, and love followed without taking much time. Sasha's love for the father of her children was not ordinary. She gave up her career and happily supported Sylvester to achieve his goals. The love between them grew much more than before, and the couple finally tied the knot on the 28th of December 1974. 2 years later, they welcomed a beautiful baby boy, Seargeoh Stallone. The happiness was beyond the limit when they had their second-born, Sergio Stallone, in 1979. But happiness is not forever. Sylvester and Sasha started facing problems in their marriage a few years after Sergio was born. Reports say that Sergio's condition was one of the reasons for the distance between them. While Sasha was always busy looking after her kids, Sylvester was very busy with his work. Primary disputes turned to vast differences, and the couple thought it was better to part ways. Hence, they divorced in 1985. The kids stayed with their mother afterward. After the failure of the first marriage, both of Sergio's parents moved on with other people. Sylvester vowed to be Brigitte Nielsen's, actress and model, husband on the 15th of December 1985. The marriage did not last longer than 2 years. Later in May 1997, Sylvester married his present wife, Jennifer Flavin Stallone. He has 3 daughters, Sophia, Sistine, and Scarlett Stallone, with his current wife. Similarly, Sergio's mother also got married for the second time. She tied the knot with the primetime Emmy Award-winning re-recording mixer, Rick Ash. Unfortunately, her second marriage ended on bad terms too. While Sylvester is still very popular for his works, Sergio Stallone's mother, Sasha, went entirely off the spotlight after the divorce. She became unreachable when her first child, Sergio Stallone, passed away due to coronary artery disease. Sergio Stallone, elder brother of Sergio Stallone, and the first child of Sylvester Stallone, was born on the 5th of May 1976. Unlike his father, Sergio didn't see much success. He did a few recommendable works during his acting career. In 1990, Sergio played Robert Balboa Jr. in his father's film, Rocky V. Sergio attended the University of North Carolina School of the Arts to study filmmaking. His apparent interest in pursuing acting resulted in a hard-working aspiring actor. He made a few guest appearances in several movies. But before he could make it big, things changed forever. Sergio Stallone was found dead in his home in the 8,100 blocks of Mulholland Terrace in Studio City, Los Angeles, on the 13th of July 2012. He was only 36 years old when he left this world. Different kinds of speculations regarding drug use popped up concerning his death. But, according to the reports, Sergio passed away due to coronary artery disease. He was said to have been engaged before his death. By now, there's no need to emphasize the relationship between Sergio and his father, Sylvester Stallone. The Macho Man, popularly known for his on-screen role, Rocky, started his film career in 1969. The credit to his fame goes to his self-created role, Rocky Balboa, from the successful Rocky series. He played the role of a boxer, for which he received critical as well as commercial success. Oscar-nominated Sylvester Stallone was born in New York. His father, Francesco "Frank" Stallone Sr., was a hairdresser, and his mother, Jacqueline "Jackie" Stallone, was an astrologer, dancer, and women's wrestling promoter. Stallone's professional, as well as personal life, was always something people wanted to find about. Hence, along with his professional events, people are aware of his own life as well. He has worked in over 55 films, most of which were big box office hits. Some of his famous filmographies are Rocky, 1976, Fist, 1978, Paradise Alley, 1978, First Blood, 1982, Rambo, First Blood II, 1985, Demolition Man in 1993, Rambo, Last Blood, 2019, etc. Stallone placed himself on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 1984. Except for the professionalism, there's so much one can learn from Sylvester Stallone. Even at the age of 74, he is fit and cautious about his health. It won't be wrong to say that the 1.77 m tall Sylvester Stallone is still the same macho man as he was in the 1970s. When Sergio Stallone appeared in his father's movie, Rocky II, in 1979, shortly after his birth, eyes that saw him in the film must have expected him to become a big star like his father. Moreover, when his elder brother worked in the movies, fans wished to see Sergio doing the same too. As he was on the autism spectrum, things were not that easy for him. Sergio was comfortable to be among a specific group of people. His parents tried everything they could to make things easy for him. Reports say that they even tried their best to launch him in acting. Well, things did not favor Sergio Stallone. So, his parents decided to keep him away from unwanted attention. Media cameras, journalists, etc., never reached to Sergio's personal space. After his parents' separation, Sergio continued to live with his mother. None of the information about the 41-year-old is out in the open. On top of that, there are conflicts with the information about his residence as well. While some say he resides with his mother at her house, some claim that Sergio Stallone lives in the massive La Quinta mansion in California. The factual detail on this piece of information is unavailable. Aside from it, his education, jobs, or other endeavors are unknown. Even though we have no record of Sergio's professional details, we can still say he is a millionaire. He is the only alive son of his father, who has a massive fortune of $400 million. The attractive fortune is likely to be divided between Sergio and his 3 stepsisters. Sergio's stepsisters and stepmother are reportedly in a proper term with him. Moreover, there is no information regarding any conflicts between the two families. The Stallones have always maintained their dignity when it comes to family matters. After all, a family that's full of love is the family everyone wants to have. For more updates on your favorite celebrities, visit celebcritics.com.